Welcome, everyone, to Techdaily.ai. Today, we're zooming in on something that's rapidly transforming how we learn, how we work, even how we conceptualize tasks, really. We're talking about the world of artificial intelligence. Specifically, we're pulling back the curtain on three major players you've likely heard of, maybe even used: ChatGPT, Copilot, and Google Gemini. Our mission today: to distill some potent insights from recent findings, give you an unvarnished view of where these tools excel, where they falter, and the profound questions they spark about our future.
Yeah, it's truly a timely conversation. These generative AI models are quickly moving beyond just being buzzwords. They're becoming integral, almost indispensable sometimes, to daily tasks across everything from education to highly specialized professional fields. What's particularly fascinating for us, I think, is understanding not just what they can do, but how reliably they do it. And of course, the wider implications of embedding them into our daily workflows.
Okay, so this brings us to a recent study. It put these AI tools to a pretty fascinating test in a critical area: healthcare education. Imagine future doctors and pharmacists relying on AI for complex questions, say in cardiovascular pharmacology. What did this research reveal about their accuracy, especially as the questions got tougher?
Well, this study, it was conducted by researchers at Al Faisal University and Case Western Reserve University. They systematically evaluated these tools. They used multiple choice questions, or MCQs,
Right.
and short answer questions, SAQs. And they did this across easy, intermediate, and advanced difficulty levels. So it really offered a kind of comprehensive report card on their capabilities.
So what did this report card actually reveal? Any surprising strengths or weaknesses?
For the easy and intermediate MCQs, the findings were quite compelling, actually. All three models consistently showed high accuracy. We're talking upwards of 90% often. ChatGPT, for example, got a perfect 100% on easy questions.
Wow.
Copilot was at 93%. Gemini at 87%. And at the intermediate level, all three models scored an identical 93%. So the clear insight here is that for foundational knowledge or straightforward information recall, AI is already an incredibly reliable assistant.
That's a strong start, definitely. But if these tools are being considered for such critical fields, they really need to handle complexity, right? What happened when the questions moved beyond that intermediate level?
Yeah, here's where the picture gets much more nuanced. When the questions became advanced, the performance dropped for all of them. It showed a clear distinction in their ability to handle complex, nuanced reasoning. ChatGPT maintained a relatively strong 73% accuracy, which, is still quite impressive.
She's all pretty good, yeah.
But Copilot fell significantly, down to 53%. And Gemini really struggled here, scored only 20%.
Only 20%. That's a big drop.
It is. And it raises an important question for us all. Does AI merely excel at retrieving existing information? Or can it truly synthesize and reason at higher levels? And it suggests that while ChatGPT and Copilot had somewhat similar performance initially, ChatGPT was significantly more accurate than Gemini in these tougher scenarios.
That's a critical difference, especially in fields like healthcare. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, beyond just picking the right answer in multiple choice, how did they handle the short answer questions, the SAQs, where they had to generate more detailed explanations?
For SAQs, we saw some consistent patterns emerge. ChatGPT and Copilot consistently delivered high accuracy scores across all difficulty levels. They were averaging around 4.5 to 4.7 out of 5.
Okay.
And there wasn't a significant drop-off for them even as questions got harder, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Gemini, in contrast, consistently performed lower. Its overall average was about 3.3 out of 5. It struggled particularly with the advanced SAQs. This really suggests that while some AI tools are quite robust for generating detailed, accurate explanations, others fall short, especially when the subject matter demands deeper scientific understanding and, precise articulation. And interestingly, the evaluators in this study had almost perfect agreement on the accuracy and quality of those SAQ responses.
Oh, so strong inter-rater reliability.
Exactly, which lends strong validity to these observed performance differences.
So what does this tell you, our listener? Whether you're a student, an educator, or just someone trying to learn complex topics, it means AI can be an exceptionally powerful assistant for foundational knowledge, even detailed explanations. But, and this is crucial, you have to understand that not all tools are created equal. Their reliability can vary dramatically with the complexity and nuance of the task. It really reinforces the need for human oversight and critical thinking, always. Okay, so we've mentioned Copilot a few times already, and you might have noticed it popping up in different contexts in the news, right?
Yeah.
That's because there are actually two distinct yet powerful AI tools operating under that name. We have Microsoft Copilot, and then there's GitHub Copilot.
Right.
They have different origins, different primary applications, serve different users. So let's clarify that important distinction.
Precisely. Microsoft Copilot, which you might remember evolved from Bing Chat,
Yeah, Bing Chat.
is now deeply integrated across the entire Microsoft 365 ecosystem. Think Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Teams, Outlook. Its core function is really about enhancing your productivity right within those familiar applications you likely use every day.
That's a crucial distinction, isn't it? So it's not
Uh,
just some fancy search bar plugged in. It's more like an intelligent layer
Yeah.
integrated directly into the tools we use every day. It fundamentally changes how we interact with them.
Exactly.
Imagine it as an intelligent assistant woven into your daily Microsoft 365 workflow. It can draft emails in Outlook, summarize meetings in Teams, create entire presentations from a few notes in PowerPoint, or even help analyze data and suggest formulas in Excel. It really takes the grunt work out of many familiar applications.
And we've seen real-world examples of this impact already. Companies like Coca-Cola have leveraged Microsoft 365 Copilot to streamline document creation, smarten up scheduling, and gain real-time insights from vast amounts of data, significantly boosting efficiency and collaboration. Similarly, HP and Carlsberg have deployed Copilot within Dynamics 365 and Azure OpenAI, respectively. They're using it to enhance customer engagement and streamline their data analytics processes. It's really about empowering users to do more, faster, with less friction.
Okay, but with an AI tool integrated so deeply into enterprise applications, privacy and security have to be huge concerns, right? What assurances does Microsoft provide when your proprietary work data is involved with Copilot?
That's a critical point for any organization, absolutely.
Yeah.
Microsoft 365 Copilot services explicitly state that user prompts and Copilot's responses are stored encrypted, and crucially, they are not used to train the underlying foundation AI models.
Ah, okay, that's key.
It is. It means your proprietary data largely remains your own. That's a critical distinction for enterprise adoption. They also adhere to strict data residency commitments, including the EU data boundary, and they employ robust content filtering to block harmful content and prevent workplace harms, like, say, making inferences about employee performance based on usage. It's really about maintaining data integrity and user trust.
Those enterprise-grade assurances for Microsoft Copilot sound reassuring. Good for productivity and trust. But the Copilot name also signifies a profound shift in how we create, doesn't it? Let's pivot now to GitHub Copilot, a distinct tool forged specifically as an AI pair programmer for software developers. How is it reshaping that creative process?
Indeed. Research on GitHub Copilot has unveiled some fascinating changes in how developers approach their work. A Harvard Business School study found that when developers integrate this AI tool, they actually shift their efforts. They move towards core coding activities and away from more peripheral tasks like project management.
Interesting.
It's about intensifying their main contribution, freeing them to focus on what they were hired to do, code.
That sounds like a significant transformation in the developer workflow. What were the key mechanisms driving this shift, according to the study?
Well, the study identified two primary forces at play. First, developers engaged in more independent work. Instead of constantly needing to, say, fork projects or create pull requests and wait for feedback.
Right, the usual back and forth.
Exactly. Copilot acts like a silent, always available copilot. It lets them navigate their coding journey much more autonomously. It's kind of like having an expert navigator right there beside you, allowing you to chart new courses without constant consultation. They actually found developers worked with an average of 17 fewer peers.
17 fewer, wow.
Yeah, a significant 79% drop in active collaboration. It suggests Copilot helps developers bypass common collaborative frictions.
That's an incredible statistic, such a reduction in direct peer interaction. And the second mechanism?
The second mechanism is a shift towards exploration rather than just exploitation. Because the cognitive load, the sort of cost of core coding work, decreases with AI assistance.
Makes sense.
Developers tend to engage more in new projects and competencies. They seek out novel approaches, experiment more readily. This really empowers them to innovate and expand their skill sets. And interestingly, the study also highlighted the benefits of generative AI, like Copilot, are often greater for individuals with relatively lower ability.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it potentially helps reduce inequality in highly skilled fields. It can act as a powerful equalizer.
That's a huge positive aspect. But whenever we talk about AI generating code, A common concern surfaces. Does AI-generated code introduce more vulnerabilities or security risks? What did the study find there?
The study found quite the opposite, actually, which is a significant finding.
Really?
Yeah. For Copilot-eligible repositories, the frequency of critical vulnerabilities was 33.9% lower.
33.9% lower. Wow.
Right. It helps mitigate cybersecurity concerns, which is a huge win for development teams. Now, while GitHub Copilot is trained on publicly available code, it generates suggestions probabilistically. It's not just copying and pasting.
Sure.
It also includes filters to detect matches with public code, and there's a preview feature for code referencing. That helps users identify potential open source licenses, review the source of suggestions, and determine if they're suitable.
Okay, the profound impact of these Copilot tools on productivity and code quality seems clear. But for many listeners, I imagine, ChatGPT remains the most familiar AI companion. So if both Microsoft Copilot and ChatGPT often leverage OpenAI models, how do we distinguish their true capabilities, their ideal use cases?
That's an excellent question, yeah, because the lines can seem blurry sometimes. While both are multimodal chatbots, meaning they can handle text, images, even code,
Right.
and are powered by OpenAI's latest models, ChatGPT generally offers more advanced features for, let's say, general use. Think better web search capabilities, file uploads, the ability to create custom chatbots or GPTs.
Ah, the custom GPTs.
Exactly, and deep integration with tools like Zapier. Many users find ChatGPT to be a bit more versatile for open-ended creative tasks. Microsoft Copilot's strength, however, really lies in its seamless embedded integration with the Microsoft 365 suite, which is, well, it's a killer feature if your work is rooted in that ecosystem.
Makes sense.
ChatGPT also offers more features in its advanced desktop and smartphone apps, extending its utility beyond just the browser.
Okay, given all this power and the distinct capabilities of these tools, how do you, as a user, make the most of them? Especially if you're a programmer, are there clever ways to leverage them effectively?
Yeah, a key piece of advice, particularly for programmers with, say, fewer than 5 years of experience, is to treat these AI tools like a human pair programmer, albeit one that's sometimes incredibly fast but occasionally needs very, very explicit direction.
Okay.
Your mental effort should be heavily skewed towards clearly communicating the entire problem in your prompts. Like maybe as much as 50% of your effort should go into crafting that clear, concise request.
So it's not just about typing a quick question, it's about crafting a really good prompt, almost like teaching a very powerful but sometimes literal-minded intern how to do a task. You have to be incredibly clear, right?
Precisely. Use toy examples to illustrate your point. Condense complex information. And yes, you can even use AI itself to help you build better prompts. That's a neat trick.
Using AI to prompt AI.
Yeah. Exactly. Shorter, more focused context windows. That's essentially the AI's short-term memory for your conversation. They generally lead to more useful results. And here's a practical tip. If a conversation goes off track, use the restart from earlier feature.
Yeah.
Get back on course.
Yeah.
Rather than letting the contents get polluted with less useful tokens,
Yeah.
those small chunks of text or code the AI processes.
And when it comes to trusting the code that these AI tools generate, what's a good rule of thumb? We can't just copy-paste blindly, can we?
Absolutely not.
Oh.
Especially for complex problem-solving code. Don't blindly trust chunks larger than, say, 30, 40 lines. Give it a good look over. However, for boilerplate code, those repetitive setup files or simple structural elements,
Yeah, the tedious stuff.
that stuff, you should absolutely use AI. Probably never write them manually again. It's about developing an intuition, really. Knowing when AI is truly suitable for a task, and when your own expertise is better applied directly to review and refine. Always review AI-generated code like you would a junior engineer's pull request. Though the models will undoubtedly improve over time, right? So this compulsive need to double-check every little thing might eventually become a habit that actually slows you down in the future, something to keep in mind.
Okay. Moving beyond individual use, AI introduces significant legal and ethical considerations for organizations, especially concerning the origins of the data these models are trained on. That seems like a big one.
It really does raise an important question. If an AI model is trained on vast amounts of open source code, does that create legal issues for the code it generates? The answer is, well, it's complex. There are real concerns about potential copyright infringement if the AI strips out attribution, for example, or if AI-generated code accidentally taints a new proprietary application by incorporating elements from restrictive open source licenses. Many forward-thinking companies are proactively trying to address this.
So what are the solutions being put in place? How do companies navigate these tricky waters?
Well, the AI code generators themselves are developing features, things like filters to suppress problematic code, and powerful code referencing tools that can flag suggestions and provide license information so you know where it potentially came from.
Useful.
Beyond the tools themselves, organizations are also establishing dedicated AI councils. These ensure responsible and ethical governance. These councils play a vital role. They define the organization's AI vision, review projects for feasibility and potential risks. They monitor performance for accuracy and fairness, and provide clear guidance to users. It's really about building a robust framework for transparent and accountable AI use, making sure the benefits are realized without inadvertently introducing new liabilities.
It truly brings us back to the human element, doesn't it? Our informed interaction with AI is the ultimate key. Even for general AI use, like with Microsoft Copilot, what are some of the best, most universal ways to prompt it for success, regardless of the task?
I'd say the universal rule is be specific, be detailed, and be concise with your commands.
Hmm.
Avoid vague or relative terms like yesterday or it. Use exact dates, names, specific references. Be precise.
Makes sense. Less ambiguity.
Exactly. And always review the sources Copilot provides, if it does. Remember, information from the internet isn't always perfectly up to date or accurate, and the AI is only as good as the data it was trained on and the prompt it received. The more structured your data and the clearer your instructions, the better the AI will perform for you.
What a journey through the capabilities, the limitations, and the essential considerations of today's leading AI tools. It's clear that ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, GitHub Copilot, they're not just novelties, are they? They are powerful forces reshaping education, software development, and broader professional environments. They offer incredible shortcuts to information and productivity, but they also demand a new level of critical engagement and informed decision-making from all of us.
Absolutely. The observed variability in their performance, especially in those complex scenarios, coupled with the critical need for robust ethical frameworks. It powerfully highlights that while AI can significantly augment human intelligence, it doesn't replace the indispensable need for human judgment, intuition, and oversight. Not yet, anyway. As these tools continue their rapid evolution, understanding their nuances and how best to wield them will be paramount for individual success and organizational integrity.
Absolutely. So here's a thought for you to consider as you go about your day. As AI continues to absorb and optimize more and more tasks, potentially even complex problem-solving and creative endeavors, will the very definition of core work transform for many professions? And if so, what new skills, what distinctly human aptitudes will become the most valuable currency in this fascinating AI-augmented future?